Welcome to another exciting edition of Weather or Not. Here in the studio, we have Marissa Lautenbacher with your exclusive weekend forecast. Brian Mastro also has a feature on winter weather and the holiday season. And we have some out-of-this-world nature and news stories featuring stories about space and shipwrecks. All that and much more here on Weather or Not, so sit back and relax, because we're going to start right now. Well, thanks for tuning in to another exciting edition of Weather or Not. I'm your host, Michael Priante.
And I'm your forecaster, Marissa Lautenbacher.
Well, Marissa, I walked into the studio today and I looked at the desk and I saw that we have a nice new logo. Thanks for getting the logo all nice and refreshed for our new set. And also thanks to Veronica Dolan, who helped out.
Yeah, it took a lot of time and a lot of work, but it was definitely worth it. And I think it looks pretty nice, and I hope you like it too.
Well, for all of us here at the Weather or Not team, we thank you and Veronica for helping out. But for now, let's take a look at some excellent nature in the news stories.
World leaders from over 120 United Nations countries converged in Paris last Monday for the Climate Change Conference. They met to discuss and propose more efficient ways to reduce carbon emissions and the integration of eco-friendly technology. The last meeting in Peru wasn't as decisive, and the Assistant General Secretary said that this meeting must be a turning point for the climate and greenhouse gases on a global scale. Authorities have been put on high alert in Paris in order to protect world leaders due to the terrorist attacks that occurred 3 weeks ago. United Nations plan on releasing a report on the cost of human lives due to weather-related disasters. Almost half of the world's population has been injured by a weather-related incident since 1995. The World Bank also reported that 165 million people could be in poverty by 2030 as the consequence of climate change. The UN knows that developing countries will face the most difficulty in implementing green policies due to economic hurdles.
Parts of a SpaceX rocket, which is normally launched out of Cape Canaveral, Florida, were possibly found off the United Kingdom's coastline last week. A group of fishermen spotted the floating piece of metal in the water, which had an American flag painted on it on the sides. The metal was very fragile and almost broke up as the fishermen reeled it in with their rods. The piece of metal was then reported and sent to the UK Coast Guard. It is possible that the piece of metal was from a Falcon 9 rocket booster, which re-entered the atmosphere over the eastern coastline sometime in late September. Ocean currents along the eastern seaboard of the United States would have brought the debris up toward Greenland and then back down toward the English Islands. Certainly a very far journey for this small piece of metal.
Shipwrecks not only occur in the vast oceans, but right in our own backyard of Lake Erie. Erie has many pollutants, but an unusual source of pollution has been of great concern. The pollution is aboard a sunken ship, Argo, which sunk into the bottom of the lake in 1937. Argo is full of barrels of benzol and crude oil, which has been leaking out of the tank barge for almost 80 years. The U.S. Coast Guard pumped 10,000 gallons of benzene from the toxic shipwreck. The ship was discovered at the bottom of Lake Erie in August by the Cleveland Underwater Explorers. The Coast Guard plans on cleaning up and offloading tens of thousands of gallons of oil. They are planning on finishing the cleanup before winter settles in.
In space news, one of Mars's moons, Phobos, is slowly crumbling due to the gravitational pull by the planet, and scientists expect it to completely break apart within a few million years. This 14-mile-wide moon shares its planetary courtship with Mars's other moon, Deimos, which both are named after the children of the Roman god Ares. The moon is moving ever so closely to the planet and has two possible scenarios. One scenario has the moon crashing into the planet, while another scenario has the moon being ripped apart. The latter scenario would eventually give Mars a ring similar in nature to Saturn's. Whatever the outcome might be, this small asteroid-sized moon will meet its deadly face in the distant future.
Hello, I'm student meteorologist Marissa Lautenbacher here with your Central Pennsylvania forecast. So here's looking at this weekend. We will have some beautiful clearer skies starting on Friday, and that's much of a change from earlier on this week. We did have that drizzle, a couple of rainy days, and the temperatures were a lot cooler than they are starting to come up this weekend. And this is all due to this beautiful high pressure system that will be staying from Friday and even on into Saturday. That sunshine will continue on for your forecast for this weekend. So make sure to take that study break and enjoy some of the sunnier weather. And we will even have some warmer temperatures coming up. Our warmest day will be on Sunday, accompanied by some more beautiful sunshine. So make sure to go out and enjoy that. But our next bout of rain will be accompanied by this low pressure system and this cold front that will move into our region starting for next week. But our high pressure system will be continuing on even on into next week. So talking about Friday, our temperatures will be warming up. 45 is your high for Friday, but our low temperatures will be flirting around the freezing point, as our freezing point is 32 degrees and our low for Friday night is 31, with that mostly clear skies. But even on Saturday, we will continue on, have that beautiful sunshine from Friday, and our temperatures will be at 48 degrees, a little bit warmer. But our Saturday night, we will have clearer skies, which means that the clouds aren't keeping that warmth into our atmosphere. So it will be a little bit cooler, staying around freezing, around 31 degrees for your low on Saturday night. So talking about Sunday is going to be our warmest, most beautiful day with lots of gorgeous sunshine. So make sure to go out and enjoy the sun for this weekend and even to the start of next weekend. And here's your feature with Brian Mastro on holiday travel.
It's that time of year again. The days are getting shorter, the nights are getting longer, and there's a definite chill in the air. The holidays are here once again, which for many people, especially Penn State students, means lots of travel. The holidays are a fun time of year. However, they are also a busy time of year, especially for those traveling. According to the United States Department of Transportation, travel rises 54% in the period of time leading up to and around Thanksgiving, and then another 23% leading up to Christmas Day, with Thanksgiving Day itself being the single busiest travel day of the entire year. While busy airports and crowded train stations garner most of the national media attention, it is actually personal vehicles such as cars that take up about 91% of all holiday travel. Most people travel during the holidays to be able to visit friends and family. However, activities as simple as this can turn dangerous when the weather does not cooperate. Some Penn State students joined us to talk about their travel experiences gone awry during the holidays due to winter weather.
So several years ago, I was probably in like 6th or 7th grade. My family and I were going down to visit my parents around Hershey. So we were driving down through 7 mountains, and it was snowing pretty hard. And my dad decided, he's a pretty aggressive driver, and he wanted to go down the hill at 80 miles an hour. And as a child, that scared the living daylights out of me. This was happening, there was probably about an inch or two of snow on the ground, so it had to be coming down relatively fast. Either that or they hadn't plowed the roads in a while, but either way it made for a very scary situation.
For many Penn State students without access to a car, this means having to take a plane, train, or bus to their holiday destination, which takes the situation out of their hands but does not negate the hazards of traveling during wintry weather.
Well, coming back from Christmas break from Metro Detroit area, which I'm from, coming back to State College, and Christmas break from 2014, I was scheduled to take a Greyhound bus at 7 o'clock in the morning from Detroit and end up in State College at about 5 o'clock p.m. the same day. Right from the beginning is when the problem started. We didn't even get on the bus until about 2 hours later. The main primary weather situation was the heavy snow that came like the day and a half previous, and that was probably the worst travel experience I've ever had over Christmas break, because I ended up my destination here back at school a day and a half late.
Regardless of how you travel this holiday season, it is always important to keep in mind a few safety tips for traveling during winter weather. Remember, it is always safest to wait until the storm has passed to be able to travel safely. But if you are unable to do so, make sure you do have an emergency kit packed in your car in case if you do get stuck in the snow. And always make sure to try to stick to roads that have been plowed, and always travel slower during wintry weather. So we hope all of you are able to stay safe while traveling this holiday season, and that you and your families have a happy and safe holidays. For Weather or Not, I'm Brian Mastro.
Thank you, Brian, for that feature on holiday travel. I'll make sure to stay safe while driving this holiday season. Now, looking at our extended forecast, this weekend we actually will be getting up into those warmer temperatures, and it'll start to feel really nice starting on Friday. And even on into Saturday and Sunday, we'll have lots of sunshine, plenty of sunshine. So make sure to take that study break, go out, take a walk, and enjoy some of that sun, because winter we won't really get that much sun. But we will have some warmer temperatures accompanied by that, and it'll feel even warmer with that beating sun. So temperatures will be ranging from 45 degrees, and they'll start to warm up from 48 on Saturday, and even on into Sunday we'll have temperatures at 50. Our lows, though, won't change very much, as they will be around 31 degrees, around that freezing mark for our low temperatures, because we have clearer skies on those evenings. But our high temperature will stick around, our high pressure system will stick around from Monday on into Tuesday, though. It'll start to move on out of that area, and the low pressure system will start to move in, leaving us with some clouds from Tuesday and even on into Wednesday. Our temperatures are staying above average from this weekend and continuing on even into next week. Friday is the day in which we will have temperatures still even into the 50s for December.
Well, thanks, Marissa, for that excellent forecast, although I'm just really sick and tired of all of this rain and cold and gray weather.
Well, luckily in the forecast, we do have some of that sunshine coming back on Friday and the weekend.
Well, that's great to hear. Now I'm really looking forward to this weekend. But for now, let's take a look at your Weather Whiz quiz. Earlier in the show, we asked you, what is the name of the scale used to classify northeastern snowstorms? Is it A, the Regional Snowfall Index, B, the Saffir-Simpson Scale, C, the Nor'easter Intensity Scale, or D, the Northeast Snowfall Impact Scale? If you guessed D, you are indeed correct. The Northeast Snowfall Impact Scale takes into account the size of the area impacted, the population, and the amount of snow, and gives a category from 1 to 5, much like the Saffir-Simpson Scale does for hurricanes. There have only been 2 Category 5 winter storms since 1958, one of them being the superstorm of 1993 and the blizzard of 1996.
Well, it doesn't seem like we'll have that big of storms, since they seem to be pretty rare, but the start of meteorological winter was December 1st.
Right, indeed it was, and we'll have to see what the rest of the winter holds, but for now, sadly, we'll have to say goodbye here on Weather or Not. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Michael Priante.
And I'm your forecaster, Marissa Lautenbacher. Have a great day.